Could there be a crypto that was designed to be a stable coin but offered an APY of up to 8,000%? What if, unlike the US dollar, this stable coin was actually supported by something? Unlike the US dollar as well, the community made judgments on this project quickly and inexpensively. Last but not the least, have you seen that bizarre 3,3 meme on social media that no one seems to be able to explain? We'll go over how Olympus DAO works, the basic arithmetic behind it, and what 3,3 truly means in this video. Before we begin, I'd like to point out that Olympus DAO is very complex. It took me a long time to fully comprehend it, so let's get started. Welcome to Cryptique, a channel that gives critical evaluation or analysis, especially in dealing with crypto. Everything regarding money, finance, investing, cryptocurrency, and blockchain-related topics including ICOs, NFTs, and yield farming. To begin with, money is nothing more than something that a group of people believe has value and that we use to convey that value. For example, in the past, certain seashells were used as currency. They were exchanged amongst groups of people and exchanged for other items such as tools and food. Because the shells could be sold for tools and food, they were now considered to be tools and food. People gradually stopped using seashells and began employing more rare materials such as metals. Our US dollar used to be backed by gold, but that was a long time ago. It means that each dollar had its own gold equivalent stored somewhere. You could even trade your money for gold if you wanted to. However, we switched from gold to silver for a variety of reasons that we will not go over in this video. It meant that each dollar was backed by silver at the time. Then we got to the point where the currency wasn't backed by much. This is significant because it implies that your funds only have value because other people believe they are worth something. When it was backed by gold, this was theoretically the case. More gold, on the other hand, was difficult to create and produce, while creating money is so simple that thieves do it. The main issue here is that we must entrust our government with the capacity to print additional money and hence impact the value of our currency. If we gaze into the future, we may begin to trade using digital assets. But the topic this video will address is whether a reserve currency system will work for digital assets as well. As a result, Olympus DAO produced the OHM token. All OHM tokens are currently backed by DAI. Before we go any further, let's define the distinction between being supported by something and being tied to something. When you purchase a stable coin, such as USDT, you are purchasing a coin that is tied to the US dollar. You might be asking yourself, how? At this point, Tether will grant you one USDT if you give them $1. They will provide you $1 if you hand them a USDT. As a result, it's similar to an open trade that allows you to exchange your US dollars to and from the blockchain. This is being referred to as tied to a dollar. That's not how OHM operates. The Treasury supports OHM with a portfolio of crypto assets, including DAI, FRAX, and liquidity pool tokens. These provide a floor or bottom value for Olympus DAOs, where the supporting assets will maintain the price until supply rises the market value. The Treasury has approximately $700 million in assets, and each property is currently guaranteed by $178 in assets. To understand why Olympus is presently offering such a ridiculously high interest rate, we must first comprehend the Treasury. This Treasury authorizes you to purchase bonds. This is essentially a mechanism for purchasing OHM tokens from the Treasury at a reduced price. They might be curious as to how you got that deal. To begin, you must purchase another coin or token, such as Ethereum. Let's imagine the price of OHM is $10,000 and you wish to purchase one OHM token. The treasury allows you to purchase OHM for $9,600, thereby giving you a 4% discount. However, there is a catch. You have to pay in Ethereum and wait 5 days to obtain all of your OHM. You earn a profit if the price remained the same. You can sell liquidity pool tokens to the treasury for discounted OHM in a more advanced example. And it is here that Olympus truly shines. As a result, the treasury is able to own a growing portion of the overall OHM liquidity. This allows the protocol to profit from the fees paid by traders when purchasing or selling OHM. In a nutshell, this means Olympus is making money. Let's get back to purchasing OHM at a discount. One OHM is only meant to be worth one DAI, which is the trick here. DAI is now a stable coin with a theoretical value of $1. So, if the treasury offers you an OHM token for $9,600, the treasury keeps $9,599. As a result, bonding is a process that earns money for the Olympus treasury. It also provides bonders with the possibility to profit. The only gamble they are facing is that the price of OHM may drop. Bonding, in summary, permits Olympus to issue more OHM tokens as long as the price of OHM is above $1. The treasury also supports staking, which is a method of depositing your own tokens in order to gain more OHM tokens. Staking removes OHM from the market, reducing overall supply. The biggest advantage for you is that it allows you to obtain all of the extra printed OHM tokens. Using our previous example, Olympus may now mint 9,599 OHM tokens because it has an extra $9,599 worth of Ethereum in its treasury. It then distributes the token to the stakers. When you stake, the notion is that you're not selling anything. Furthermore, when you acquire bonds, you're not selling them. Your acts, in any case, are not selling. As a result, even though the overall supply increases with each new base level, the value of OHM is not affected significantly. Here's a quick rundown of what's happened so far. When OHM has more support than it needs, it simply creates extra tokens and distributes them to the stakers. When Olympus has less support than it requires, Olympus will begin to purchase back OHM, which we'll discuss later. Another key factor to consider is something known as LP rewards. Remember how we indicated that the treasury purchases its own liquidity using bonding mechanisms? As a result, Olympus controls a huge portion of OHM's liquidity, 99.88% in fact. As a result, they receive practically all of the trading fees associated with OHM. They make millions of dollars merely by consumers buying and trading the OHM token. This is now a significant source of revenue for Olympus. This is what enables the OHM treasury to grow by allowing them to support their own tokens. So, if you think this video has clarified some things for you, please consider liking it and clicking that bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you might want to consider subscribing to our channel. It'll really help us out. Back to our video. Going to our next topic, let's discuss the 3,3 meme. Now, the 3,3 meme that you've probably seen circulating around the internet represents something far bigger. It's based on a concept from game theory, which is a conceptual way of thinking about how to win games utilizing economics and human behavior. Let's start with a definition of a phrase called the prisoner's dilemma. Assume there are two criminals. They both have the option of cooperating with law enforcement or not cooperating with law enforcement. If a felon cooperates, he or she receives a reduced punishment, while their accomplice receives a harsher penalty. If they both cooperate and admit their crimes, they will both receive a harsh punishment. However, if they both dispute the charges, they both get off easy. Now, presuming you have no idea which notion your partner will choose, which one would you pick? Take a look at this diagram of the prisoner's dilemma. This depicts the result for both criminals based on their choices. As you can observe in these two squares, if one admits and the other does not, it ends favorably for the confessor but badly for the non-confessor. You can also observe how, if they both admit, the outcome is the same for both of them. Finally, if they both deny, they will each receive the best sentence available. As a result, according to game theory, if both offenders are reasonable, they should choose this alternative. Now, Olympus DAO uses the same theory to transcend this square into their own universe of a 3x3 matrix. The ideal scenario is for you and everyone else to stake the OHM token. The worst case scenario is that everyone sells. Again, the ideal case scenario is for everyone to stake long term, given that everyone involved is logical and knowledgeable of the thought process. Unfortunately, this is dependent on humans. So you'll have to wait a year or maybe 10 years to see what happens. Instead of speculating on what might happen, let's run through two worst-case scenarios rapidly. The first is what occurs if the price decreases to one DAI, which is what it is backed by. Remember how I mentioned that each OHM should be worth $1? That is, in theory, the absolute minimum that it is required to ever be. In reality, there's a concept known as the floor price. Due to the quantity of money in the treasury, this is the rate at which OHMs should not drop below. This is something I haven't mentioned previously. Let's imagine there are 1,000 OHM tokens in circulation and the treasury holds $4,000 in cash. This indicates that each OHM is backed by assets worth $4. If the worth of OHM ever falls below $4, Olympus as a protocol will begin purchasing back OHM tokens. This lowers the overall supply available. Now, you might be asking how this idea compares to Iron Finance and the Titan token. OHM is not to be confused with the Iron Finance bank run, which led to Project Iron's failure. Titan, on the other hand, was vulnerable to bank runs all the way below to zero. The same thing can happen with Olympus, but this time, there is a price floor and the protocol will literally purchase back your tokens. In theory, if a bank run occurs, you will not lose the entirety of your money. Only the difference between both the current price and the amount of supporting each OHM would be lost. Since the protocol controls over 99% of its own liquidity, it will continue to receive fees as time goes on and more individuals acquire OHM. It implies that the treasury should continue to expand rapidly. So, absolutely, there are risks associated with the Olympus DAO procedure. It should be highlighted, however, that they are not the same as the Iron Finance dangers. As we conclude this video, we don't know if Olympus will survive successfully in the next 5 years, if there will be a mistake in the code that enables vulnerabilities, or if it will simply not fall like Iron Finance. Despite this, the program has undoubtedly generated some radical innovations. It's a fascinating experiment in behavioral economics and cryptography. Acquired a lot of knowledge from this? We recommend checking out our other relevant videos from our channel. Also consider sharing this video to any friends or family members who might find it useful. Until next time!